A couple of days ago, we met Zechariah and Elizabeth. Now, they were destined to be the parents of the man who would get people ready for the coming of the Messiah. But they couldn't have children. So was Christmas cancelled? No. God intervened to keep Christmas right on track. Very ordinary people with very ordinary heartbreak were caught up into an amazing story. But you know what? They weren't the first. The original promise of the first Christmas was given very early in the Bible. And it said that a descendant would come who would bring about great change to a broken world. And that promise was held on to by every generation that came along. Now, if you've been reading the Gospel of Luke with us as you've been watching these videos, did you notice that nearly every time a character is introduced, you also get an ancestor named as well? So, take for example Elizabeth. It says Elizabeth, a descendant of Aaron. And later in Luke, in chapter 3, and also in the Gospels of Matthew and Mark, the story gets interrupted by a really long family tree. This great big long list of what we might find tricky to pronounce names. Now, in our day, most of us only know who our ancestors are, back to our grandparents. If we want to know more, we have to start searching the internet. Or in the old days, which is about 15 years ago, we go to the library or the records office and start looking through mountains of records. But in many cultures, including ancient Israel, this information was living. People had it to hand. They knew the names way back. So to the first readers of the Gospels, long lists of names wasn't unusual at all. In fact, it would be expected. Naming people when you gave a character's name would also be normal. Matthew, Mark and Luke give us a list of ancestors and show how this long list of names through history led to one point, the birth of Jesus. It's a different kind of Christmas tree. It's a Christmas family tree. And many of the people in it were the kind of people to get Christmas cancelled. But God kept it on track. He fixed the brakes. He mended the path. And many of these people were very ordinary, but God made them part of something that would become amazing. And that's what Christmas is. The first Christmas came so as to mend the broken, to give a second chance, to build a way forward when people had despaired of there ever being one. Mind you, if that's true, and if Jesus was born to ordinary faulty people, well, isn't it true that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? Wouldn't we need someone who was free from the problems of this damaged world system? Well, we'll start to look at that situation tomorrow.
18 days until Christmas.